we were recalling that we think it was 15 years ago.
About 15 years ago, we were reading a lot about how the wheat had changed and just the process of the wheat harvest and why gluten-free was better for the gut.
She's really making this sound very serious.
Yes, I cried when I was told.
We went to a naturopath we knew, and he was the one who said, you need to stop wheat.
You have way too much inflammation. You'll do much better on a gluten-free diet. And as I recall, I cried in his office. I cried on the way home, and then I cried the first time I went to the grocery store to get groceries.
And what really got the whole thing going was the idea of no toast.
I know. Toast is so warming. It's so cozy. I love toast year round. I will give up pasta and pizza if I can have toast. And so finding a really yummy, crisp, and gluten-free toast.
Tasty
is important to me. So that's where we came up with the whole idea of having 8 toast off, because rather than trying all the different ones.
Yes. We picked out, and this is random. You can see I have 2 on my side. Dr. Kim has 2 on her side. Our friend has labeled the bottoms of these. We do not know which ones they are. And so we decided to get the 4 tops. We chose them because they're all multi-grain. Mm-hmm. And we're going to put them into the toaster. First looking at the look of the bread. Okay. Yeah. Put them all in there.
Nice size.
This one's got a couple extra viewing holes in it.
Good for toast. Good for sandwiches.
Ready? We're going to put them down at the same time.
3, 2, 1.
So while our toast is toasting, the other reason is that, everybody that comes in contact, and they say, I don't know about this gluten-free bread. I don't want to buy a whole loaf and then hate it. And so I can assure you that there's going to be a couple of these that probably don't taste that good. And so we're going to save you.
For research purposes.
We're going to save you a whole bunch of old money. Now, let's talk to them about why the big thing with gluten. What the heck is happening? Why is this becoming so daily discussions about what the heck is happening with gluten? So do you want to talk a little bit about glyphosate?
I'll talk a little bit about glyphosate. So glyphosate is essentially Roundup. It kills the weeds, and it also is used as a desiccant. What that means is that if the wheat is not organic, and sometimes even if it is sprayed with glyphosate or Roundup right before harvest. So it dries the wheat, but it also coats it with this Roundup, which is essentially poison. And that goes, we're taking that in when we eat it, and it destroys the inner lining of our gut, as well as killing the good bacteria. You've all heard of bifidobacteria. That's one of the good guys, and it specifically targets bifidobacteria and kills it. So you have less of the good guys helping you out. Plus, there's a new term now that a leaky gut, which glyphosate is a number 1 cause of leaky gut, causes a leaky brain. So they're now connecting the dots between leaky gut, general inflammation in the body, and depression, anxiety, even autism. So this is a bigger deal than just, gluten-free.
Every year, every decade, we get a little bit sicker because we're just not able to break this stuff down. And one way you see that, and the way we call it leaky gut, is because the sides of the intestine, this is the little cell walls of the intestines.
The little villi.
The little villi are up here. You want to be the villi? Be the villi. Okay, so the villi, when you eat
the food coming along.
So when you eat the wheat, the villi start to break off. Oh, that's really theatrical. But then it starts to break open. And so then the food, rather than being absorbed and taken through our systems, it actually gets into the bloodstream. And our immune system, which is in our bloodstream, goes, whoa, wait a minute. Here's molecules of this wheat. We don't know what to do with it. And so then what happens? Boom, hit the inflammation button.
Because it's only one cell between the food and your bloodstream. So you break that down, and that's why it's so easy to have a leaky gut. I was just...
Should we eat first?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start. Should we start with yours?
Yeah, let's start with this one here.
Okay. So we have used organic, beautiful butter because butter, all the milk solids and the proteins and everything are taken out of butter. So even if you're lactose intolerant, most people can handle butter. So this one, we don't know what it is. So crunch.
Good crunch. I see some little millet seeds. A little dry, even with the butter.
Mm-hmm. I have a very expressive face. It doesn't help to play poker.
Shall we try this one?
Sure. This one has a lot of butter on it.
I love butter.
You want to eat this half?
Oh, sure. Oh, thanks.
All right. Okay. So now this one right away, it has more feel to it, more texture.
Has a really good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Toasted up nicely.
I can do an to that one. I like that one. So now we're going to move over here.
Thank you. I see some, I like seeing a little millet, a little bird seed in there. Not bad. A little dry inside.
A lot like that first one. But not as sticky and sour. This is okay.
Yeah. Because you might wonder, what are they using instead of flour in the gluten-free breads? And usually it's going to be ground rice. Sometimes it's a combination of brown rice and
potato,
white rice and potato flour. I mean, it's still a processed food.
But let's face it, when you are buying any bread, right? The bread isn't the nutrient. So you can get these whole grain varieties, but all the bread does is hold on the good stuff that's supposed to go on there.
The almond butter, your
avocado toast with a poached egg on the top,
turkey.
You know, and turkey for a sandwich or whatever else. It is only a holder. So it isn't like people say, oh, well, it's got all this. Yes, it does. But so does your other bread. Let's see about this one.
Actually, not bad. Pretty good crunch.
Stuck in my teeth.
And it does have a chew, but I like the flavor.
It's a little gummy, but I like the flavor.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it as a bread, but as a toast, if it's toasted well.
All right.
Do you need to redo any of them?
Of course, I don't remember the first one. Okay.
I know what my first and second
I know what my first is.
This is my first. Okay, we both chose this as our favorite.
Right, what is it? Drum roll.
Udi's.
Udi's has been around forever and ever. I think it's one of the original. It's one of the OGs of gluten-free. Yep.
And even regular grocery stores will often have it in the freezer section. I know that I think Udi's also has a white variety, but I always
all of these do. I just tried to get it as conforming.
Yeah, but that's not usually.
And is this number 2?
That's my second. Is that your second too?
It's mine. And this is Trader Joe's.
There you go.
Trader Joe's has their own brand. And
I'd never tried theirs.
Well, and the funny thing is that I had heard bad things about the Trader Joe's brand from other people, but I think it's pretty good. So Udi's is first, Trader Joe's is second. Which one do you think is last?
I have another bite of each.
All right.
And I was really hoping one of these would be awesome because I like the look of a millet seed in there. I have to go with this one because that is so dry.
Yeah. Okay, so this is number 4. And this is the Whole Foods 365 is the driest of the bunch. And then the other one is, that's Aldi.
Oh.
Aldi's. So okay. I chose.
And I'd never tried that one before either.
So there's one brand that we know to be tasting really, really good, but I'm going to do a shout out if they ever see this video that when you are charging over $10 a loaf for a gluten-free bread and Udi's is down here at like $5.50, who's going to buy that? It tastes really good, but it certainly isn't
But
that
there
much
isn't.
more.
But the other brand that we do
Canyon.
like is Canyon Bakery.
But that's the one
that's the one that's $10 a loaf.
Mm.
But we were telling a friend about this, and she said you can get it sometimes at Costco.
2 bags for that price. So we're giving you a with an asterisk. We do like the Canyon brand, but if you're just going to go to the grocery store, there's just no way that I'm going to pay $10 for a loaf of bread.
This was a lot of fun.
I know.
What a great idea you had.
Yeah. So in closing, we also have a couple questions we want to answer. Udi's got number 1.
Trader Joe's got number 2.
Number 2.
We don't really, because we didn't have Canyon Bakery here, we didn't know, but it'd probably be in the top 3, I'm thinking.
It's good. It's just, I even draw the line.
And I'm hoping that, what was this, Aldi and
Whole Foods came in last.
I'm hoping that they up their game. Somebody sees this and says, wow, we want to be number 1 or number 2 with gluten-free bread, because we are gluten-free. We're not celiac, but we're gluten-free, probably 90-10, because we know it's so important. We want to keep our inflammation down. And so we talk to our patients about it and our friends and family. We just feel it's a key component.
I agree completely. Just keep in mind that they say, oh, I only eat bread every now and then. 1 dose, as I call it, of glutened bread, or any other gluten thing can cause inflammation in your gut for up to 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a problem. So anyway, so if you choose your poison, and, if you eat regular gluten every 6 weeks, go for it. But the idea that we are all suffering from all of these autoimmune conditions, number 1, there's a direct tie between hypothyroidism and gluten sensitivity.
Because the thyroid is very sensitive to any kind of inflammation in the body. As a matter of fact, I never had any gut issues. I simply had apparently I had leaky gut because I was tired. It was affecting my thyroid. And so I can only say that I feel much better being gluten-free.
So don't take our word for any of this, because we are not doctors. And of course, our opinions, you need to have everything. Consult with your medical professional and not us, because even though we know better and know more. This is Dr. Stephanie Seneff, and she is a PhD. She wrote this book called The Toxic Legacy: How Glyphosate Has Destroyed Our Health and Our Environment.
Now, she's smart. She's a researcher at MIT. So.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, so this book, if you're curious about anything that we can guide you to, there's the gut-brain connection. There's something called wheat brain. There's all kinds of books coming out about wheat belly. That's the one.
Yeah.
And so, it is a bigger deal than we let on, because people say, well, I eat wheat and I don't have any problems. Yes, you do. It's in your gut and you are having inflammation. And there's a new word. It's infla-aging.
Oh yeah, inflammation plus
aging.
Showing the inflammation is causing advanced facilitated aging.
Wrinkles and stuff before you'd think they were going to be there. It's because of the inflammation. Okay, so that's our toast off and our gluten-free. We thanks for being around for this.